My beloved child, hear this carefully, because this message is not arriving by accident, and it is not late. Heaven has been watching your nights, counting your tears, and weighing your silence. Tonight is different. Something has shifted. The delay you felt was not denial. It was divine alignment. God says your miracle is being released tonight, and Archangel Michael is standing near you with eyes full of compassion, not because you are weak, but because you endured far more than anyone ever knew. There was a moment recently when you almost gave up. You smiled on the outside, but inside, your spirit whispered, "How much longer?" Heaven heard that whisper. The shout you never made was louder than any prayer you spoke out loud. That is why Archangel Michael is weeping for you. Not tears of sorrow, but tears of honor. Tears because heaven recognizes what earth ignored. Tears because you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to walk away. Right now, the atmosphere around you is charged. You may feel a strange heaviness lifting, or a sudden calm that does not make logical sense. That is not imagination. That is confirmation. God is not preparing your miracle anymore. Preparation is finished. The release has begun. Tonight is the handoff between promise and manifestation. Listen closely. The reason the whole heaven is shouting your name is because you did not become bitter when you were betrayed. You did not harden your heart when prayers seemed unanswered. You did not turn cold when doors closed repeatedly. You stayed soft in a hard season, and that moved heaven. Many would have compromised. Many would have settled. But you held on, even when you did not understand what you were holding on to. Archangel Michael has been assigned to protect what is about to arrive in your life. The miracle coming toward you is fragile in its beginning stages and powerful in its final form. That is why spiritual resistance increased around you lately. Confusion, exhaustion, strange delays, sudden emotional waves. None of that was random. It was the last attempt to make you quit right before the release. God says, do not measure this miracle by the size of your expectation. What is coming will not look the way you imagined, but it will produce what you prayed for. Some blessings come disguised as conversations. Some arrive through sudden decisions made by others. Some miracles are released when someone speaks your name in a room you were never invited into. Heaven is already working behind the scenes, rearranging people, timing, and circumstances to collide in your favor. Archangel Michael is weeping because he knows what you survived silently. The nights you cried without words. The mornings you got up anyway. The strength you borrowed just to function. Heaven never forgot. God never overlooked your endurance. And now, the same hand that allowed the waiting is releasing the reward. You may notice signs tonight. A message, a dream, a sudden sense of urgency, or an unexplainable peace. Do not dismiss them. These are divine signals. God often whispers before he acts loudly. And tonight, heaven is loud. Angels are moving. Assignments are being activated. Chains you did not even know were spiritual are being broken without noise. This miracle is not only about you. That is another reason heaven is involved. What God is releasing through your life will restore others. Your testimony will unlock hope in someone who is almost done believing. Your survival will become someone else's proof. That is why the weight was heavy, and the road was narrow. You are being trusted with more than you realized. God says, stay open tonight. Not anxious. Not forcing. Just open. Do not replay old disappointments. Do not rehearse past failures. Those chapters are closed. Heaven is not revisiting them. What is being released has no connection to your past mistakes. It is connected to your obedience, your resilience, and your refusal to let go of faith even when it hurt. Archangel Michael is standing guard because once this miracle touches your life, it cannot be reversed. What God seals, no one can undo. What God releases, no delay can stop. You are stepping into a protected season, a watched over season, a season where attacks fail before they form. Right now, take a breath. Let your shoulders relax. You do not need to strive anymore. The struggle phase is ending. The receiving phase is beginning. Heaven is not asking you to fight tonight. Heaven is asking you to trust. God says, "This is why I kept you awake. This is why this message found you now. This is why your spirit felt restless. Your miracle is being released tonight, and heaven wanted you ready, aware, and aligned. Not afraid, undoubting. Just present. Something is about to change faster than you expect. And when it does, you will look back at this moment and realize heaven was already shouting your name. My precious one, let me take you deeper now, because what is unfolding around you cannot be understood on the surface. There has been a holy conversation happening in the unseen realm about you. Not a debate, not a question, but a divine agreement. God has already said yes. Heaven has already responded. What you are sensing tonight is the echo of that agreement reaching your spirit. You may have wondered why things intensified right before this moment, why misunderstandings increased, why people suddenly shifted, why your emotions felt heavy without a clear reason. This was not regression. This was transition. Before God releases something new, the old structure shakes. Before light expands, shadows try to stretch. The enemy always overplays his hand when he knows his time is short. Archangel Michael hath been positioned not only as a warrior, but as a witness. He has watched every unseen battle you fought. Some of your greatest victories were moments when you chose not to react, not to retaliate, not to explain yourself. Heaven recorded those moments. Earth may have misread your silence, but God called it strength. That is why the miracle being released carries authority. It was paid for with endurance. God says, you were never forgotten in the waiting. The delay was never about your worth. It was about timing. There were pieces that had to move into place, hearts that needed to turn, doors that needed to close quietly so the next one could open without resistance. If it had happened earlier, it would have broken you. Now, it will build you. There is also a restoration element tied to this miracle. Something that was taken from you emotionally is being returned spiritually. Your confidence, your joy, your sense of direction. You will notice that soon, decisions feel clearer. Your voice feels steadier. You stop second-guessing yourself. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. When heaven agrees with your next step, confusion loses its grip. Listen carefully, because this part matters. God is not just changing circumstances. He is changing your position. You are moving from survival mode into stewardship mode. From asking, how do I get through this, to how do I manage what God is giving me. A shift can feel unfamiliar at first. Sometimes people miss their miracle because they are still bracing for impact instead of opening their hands. Archangel Michael is guarding your focus right now. Distractions that once drained you will start losing their pull. Conversations that no longer match your future will fade naturally. You will not have to force separation. It will happen through clarity. When God upgrades your season, He also upgrades your discernment. There is someone listening who needs to hear this clearly. The miracle coming is not fragile because of you. It is fragile because others will try to touch what they were never assigned to. That is why privacy will become important. Not secrecy, but wisdom. Not everyone needs to know what God is doing until it is established. Heaven is teaching you when to speak and when to let results speak for you. God says, I am about to surprise you with speed. What took months to worry about will resolve quickly. What felt complicated will simplify suddenly. Do not panic when things move faster than you expected. That is not chaos. That is momentum. When divine timing clicks, acceleration follows. Now hear this invitation with an open heart. If this message is resonating, do not keep it to yourself. Engage with it. Let your faith be visible. Take a moment to like this message so it reaches others who are desperately waiting for confirmation. Share it with someone who feels overlooked by God right now. Leave a comment declaring that you are ready to receive what heaven has prepared. When you subscribe and stay connected, you are not just supporting a channel. You are staying positioned for ongoing alignment. There are people who will hear God clearly because you chose to interact. This is bigger than content. This is community. Faith grows when it is shared. When you participate, you become part of the ripple effect God is creating through this word. And hold on, because what is coming next will bring even more clarity. You are about to understand why this miracle had to arrive the way it is arriving, and why tonight was the only night it could be released without being delayed again. Beloved soul, lean in now, because this layer of the message is sacred. What God is revealing at this moment is not for the curious, but for the committed. There is a reason your heart feels tender as you listen. Heaven is touching places in you that words alone cannot reach. Archangel Michael is not only present as a protector, but as a messenger, and what he carries tonight is heavy with truth and mercy. God says the miracle being released is connected to a vow you made in a season of pain. Not a public vow, not something anyone applauded, but a quiet promise you whispered when you were unsure you would make it through. Heaven remembers vows spoken through tears. Heaven responds to faith that survives disappointment. That is why the response feels delayed but decisive. When God moves on your behalf now, it will be complete. There is something important you must understand. The waiting season reshaped you. It refined your motives. It filtered your desires. You once asked for relief, but now you are ready for responsibility. You once wanted escape, but now you can handle increase. God does not release miracles that will crush the receiver. He releases them when the vessel is ready. And tonight, heaven says you are ready. Archangel Michael has been standing at the edge of a breakthrough that required protection, because this miracle carries generational weight. It is not only about your present. It reaches backward to heal what was broken before you, and forward to bless what will come after you. That is why the battle was intense. Anything that can alter a bloodline attracts resistance. But resistance does not determine the outcome. Authority does. God says, I trusted you with endurance before I trusted you with abundance. You proved that you would not walk away when answers were slow. You proved that you would not change your character to speed up the process. Heaven values who you became more than what you asked for. And now both are aligning. Some of you will notice a sudden release of emotional pressure after this message. You may even feel tired in a different way, like a good tired, the kind that comes after something heavy is lifted. That is not weakness. That is rest returning. When the spirit stops bracing for impact, the body follows. God is restoring your nervous system along with your circumstances. There is also forgiveness happening in the unseen. Not just you forgiving others, but heaven closing accounts that were draining you spiritually. Old accusations, spoken or unspoken, are being silenced. God is clearing your name in places you were never allowed to defend yourself. This miracle includes vindication, but it will not come through arguments. It will come through results. Archangel Michael is weeping again, because what is coming will answer prayers you stopped praying out loud. Some requests became too painful to repeat, so you buried them under acceptance. God never buried them. He preserved them. And tonight, preservation turns into fulfillment. Be attentive over the next hours. Timing matters now. Obedience will feel gentle, not forced. A nudge to rest. A prompting to reach out. A sense to wait instead of rushing. These are not random thoughts. They are alignment cues. When heaven is close, guidance becomes subtle but precise. God says, do not rush to explain this miracle. Let it unfold. Let it speak. Let it settle. You do not owe everyone clarity. Some will only understand once they see the fruit. Protect your peace. Honor the process. What God bursts widely often grows strongest. And now, receive this activation with intention. Type "I receive my miracle tonight" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 914 has just been released. As this word settles into your heart, hear this final instruction. I am asking you, as part of this sacred moment, to respond not just with belief, but with action. When you sow into this work through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are placing oil into a lamp that is lighting the way for lost and weary souls. God is saying to you personally, as you release, I will release. The seed is not money, it is obedience, and obedience opens the heavens. Do this now, while the window is open, because delay dulls divine moments. I bless every giver with overflow, clarity, and divine protection. Step forward and activate this prophetic exchange now. My treasured one, the moment you have been waiting for is closer than you realize. There is a spiritual current moving around you right now, one that cannot be measured by earthly tools or human perception. It is a wave of divine orchestration, unseen yet powerful, flowing directly from the heart of God toward your life. Archangel Michael is not merely a distant observer. He is standing beside you, holding the doorway open for what God is sending. The tears you've shed, the prayers you whispered in secret, the nights you questioned your purpose, all of it has been gathered like precious pearls, ready to be set into a crown of glory for your life. God wants you to understand the depth of what is happening. This miracle is not a temporary fix. It is not a fleeting moment of relief. It is a permanent shift designed to recalibrate your life according to His perfect will. Heaven is not merely granting a wish. It is implementing a strategy that will transform your spiritual atmosphere. What you are stepping into is a season where your faith and your life's mission will converge. The obstacles you have faced, the doors that slammed shut, the misunderstandings and betrayals, they were all forming a foundation for something far greater. Without those seasons, you could not have handled this level of blessing. Archangel Michael has been watching over this process, ensuring that every attack, every attempt to derail your journey, has been countered. You may have felt that the world was against you at times, that every move forward was met with resistance. That was not coincidence. It was spiritual preparation. Every moment you endured in patience has prepared you to receive what cannot be touched by delay or opposition. God is honoring your perseverance in ways that are beyond human comprehension. Listen closely to what God is saying now. Do not limit the miracle by human understanding. What I release surpasses what you imagine or ask for. Too often, we measure divine provision by what we think is possible, by our experiences and our expectations. But God operates in dimensions beyond time and limitation. What you are about to receive tonight will exceed the boundaries of your imagination. It will answer prayers you have not yet spoken aloud, and it will fulfill promises that were made to your spirit long before you were even aware of them. There is also a timing element in this miracle. The enemy often tries to distract you with false alarms, unexpected delays, or sudden challenges. Do not fall into fear. These moments are simply markers that heaven is still in control. Even when circumstances seem contradictory, trust the movement that is invisible to the human eye. Archangel Michael is positioning everything in your favor. He is not weeping for despair tonight. He is weeping for the honor of witnessing the fulfillment of a divine promise, one that was written before the foundation of the world. God says, tonight, the atmosphere around you will change. You may notice a shift in energy, a heaviness lifted, or a sudden clarity that allows you to see paths that were previously invisible. Your prayers are being answered in ways that will surprise not only you but those around you. This is why the miracle has been so meticulously timed. It needed to arrive when you were ready, when your spirit was aligned, and when the opposition could no longer interfere. The heavens have coordinated this moment with precision, and every angelic assignment is in place. Some of you may still be hesitant to believe. You may feel that the delay has taught you to doubt. God is aware of this, and He says, "Faith is not measured by what you see but by what you trust in my timing." Tonight, trust will become your instrument of reception. The moment you allow yourself to fully receive, without resistance or skepticism, the miracle will begin to manifest. It will not only impact your life, but also the lives of those connected to you spiritually, emotionally, and even generationally. This miracle also carries a message of restoration. Things lost to doubt, fear, and delay are being returned to you with increase. Relationships, opportunities, clarity, and peace, whatever was hindered or delayed, is being aligned to return in a way that surpasses the original expectation. Archangel Michael is leading a procession of blessings that can't be interrupted, ensuring that nothing is left incomplete. God says, do not be passive in this moment. Presence is key. Pay attention to the subtle signs, the nudges of the Spirit, the gentle confirmations that something extraordinary is being released. A call, a message, a thought, or even a sudden opportunity may appear unexpectedly. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations of the divine orchestration already at work. When you recognize them, move with intentional faith, knowing that heaven is backing your steps. Tonight is a threshold. You are standing at the edge of a new chapter, one that requires awareness, gratitude, and readiness. The miracle that God is releasing is designed to uplift, restore, and empower you in ways that will reverberate long into your future. Archangel Michael is weeping with joy because he sees what your endurance has produced, a soul aligned perfectly with God's purpose, ready to receive what has been promised. Stay attuned, remain patient in expectation, and allow yourself to receive without question. The universe is shifting in your favor, the unseen realms are in motion, and the moment of manifestation is imminent. Tonight, what was once distant will arrive, what was once delayed will appear, and what was once impossible will become your testimony. A miracle is not just for comfort, it is for transformation. Every part of your life touched by waiting, by struggle, by loss, is being realigned for divine success. The heavens have orchestrated a plan that no earthly force can derail, and Archangel Michael is standing guard over it all. Prepare your heart, open your spirit, and be ready for the extraordinary. My beloved, tonight you must understand that the miracle about to manifest is more than circumstance. It is a spiritual alignment, a divine recalibration of your life's path. Archangel Michael has not been idle. He had been mobilizing heavenly forces on your behalf, positioning angels, opening portals, and creating a spiritual environment where the impossible becomes inevitable. The tears he shed are not of sorrow but of awe, because what he has witnessed in your endurance is extraordinary. Your persistence, your faith, your unwavering heart have shifted the atmosphere of heaven in your favor. The universe itself is bending toward your breakthrough. God says that miracles are not simply events, they are declarations of His presence, proof that He is attentive to the cries of His children. Your miracle tonight is a declaration, not just to you, but to those around you. It is a divine confirmation that the prayers you thought were unanswered were heard, cataloged, and perfectly timed. Many of the difficulties you have endured, the closed doors, the lost opportunities, the nights filled with doubt, were never punishments. They were spiritual calibrations, ensuring that when your miracle arrived, it would be irreversible, uncontested, and fully aligned with your destiny. You may be wondering how this miracle will appear. God says it may come in ways you never anticipated. Sometimes, the release of divine favor arrives through unexpected people, sudden invitations, or opportunities that seem unrelated to your prayers. Other times, it arrives through healing, clarity, or a restored sense of purpose. The important thing is not to limit it by human understanding. A miracle is a manifestation of God's wisdom, not yours. Archangel Michael is ensuring that the timing, the manner, and the impact are perfect. Every piece of this divine puzzle is being set in place tonight. There is also a protective dimension to this miracle. God has placed a spiritual shield around the outcome, ensuring that nothing can tamper with its arrival. This is why you may feel a sense of calm in your spirit even amid chaos. This calm is not a coincidence. It is a signal from heaven that the environment around you had been secured. Any attempt to sabotage, distract, or mislead will fail. Archangel Michael himself stands at the boundary of this blessing, repelling forces that would try to interfere. Your miracle is untouchable because God has decreed it. Tonight is a turning point. It is a moment where waiting ends and receiving begins. You may feel a sudden awareness of timing shifting in your favor. Doors that were closed are about to open. Connections that were stagnant will be activated. Situations that felt unchangeable are about to bend under the weight of God's power. This is not luck. This is deliberate, supernatural orchestration. Archangel Michael has wept over your patience, and now heaven is shouting in celebration because your faith has positioned you for victory. God says, prepare to receive beyond your expectation. The miracle coming is not proportional to your previous pain. It is proportional to His glory. Some blessings may appear as subtle shifts, clarity in decisions, alignment with the right people, or sudden provision. Others may be more visible, tangible confirmations of His power. Either way, your spirit will recognize it. You will know it is God because it will resonate with peace, wonder, and an undeniable sense of purpose. There is also a spiritual awakening that accompanies this miracle. Your perception of God's timing will deepen. Your faith will be strengthened. You will begin to see patterns in life where divine orchestration was always present, even when you could not perceive it. Archangel Michael is guiding this awakening. His tears are a testament to the magnitude of your journey, but also a signal that your alignment with heaven is about to reach a new level of intimacy. Tonight, do not underestimate the power of your testimony. This miracle is not solely for you. It will impact others around you. Family, friends, and even strangers who witness your breakthrough will be drawn to God through your story. Your endurance, your patience, your refusal to give up, all of this has a ripple effect. Heaven is not just celebrating your miracle, heaven is sending it as a signpost for others who need proof that God is faithful. God says, "Do not fear sudden changes." Sometimes, the arrival of a miracle can feel overwhelming because it moves faster than anticipated. Do not resist it. Do not question it. Allow the shift to take place. Archangel Michael is holding the protective boundary, ensuring that even rapid changes are safe, guided, and intended for your highest good. The unfolding will be seamless if your heart remains open and your faith remains active. In these coming hours, pay attention to subtle signs. A phone call, a message, an unexpected insight, or even a sudden sense of clarity is a direct communication from heaven. These are confirmations that your miracle is not only on its way but already active in the spiritual realm. Archangel Michael is orchestrating these confirmations, ensuring you recognize them when they arrive. Tonight, you are stepping into a season where patience transforms into reward, tears transform into joy, and endurance transforms into divine testimony. The miracle is being released. Archangel Michael is weeping in awe. Heaven is shouting your name. God's plan is unfolding in ways you will never forget. Hold your heart steady. Prepare to receive with faith, gratitude, and obedience. The miraculous is moving, and the alignment is perfect. My treasured child, listen closely now, for the hour you have longed for is closer than your eyes can see. Tonight is not an ordinary night. The heavens themselves have conspired to release what was promised to you. Archangel Michael has been stationed over your life like a sentinel, not merely watching, but actively engaging in the unseen, holding every assignment in readiness for the perfect moment. Every prayer you whispered in secrecy, every tear shed in solitude, every word of faith spoken in the dark has been cataloged in heaven's record. And now, the time for manifestation is at hand. God says that miracles are not measured by human standards. They are measured by divine orchestration. The miracle coming to you is not random. It is deliberate, intentional, and perfectly timed. You may have felt the weight of delay, the exhaustion of unanswered prayers, the isolation of waiting alone, but all of that has prepared you to receive in a way that honors God's plan. Your endurance has become the foundation for a release that is too mighty to be contained. Heaven celebrates because your faith was not superficial, it was proven, tested, and refined. Archangel Michael is weeping as he witnesses the precision of God's work in your life. His tears are not sorrow. They are recognition of your steadfastness, a tribute to the faith that remained unbroken even when circumstances suggested otherwise. Tonight, the angelic realm is not silent. There is a chorus of voices moving in agreement with heaven's plan, preparing to shout over your life with declarations of breakthrough, restoration, and divine alignment. What has been delayed is now being delivered. What has been postponed is now arriving. God is urging you to shift your focus from what you can control to what heaven is orchestrating. Do not rely solely on logic or reason. Miracles rarely follow human patterns. Your breakthrough will not always look like what you imagined, but it will fulfill the deepest desires of your heart. It may come through a sudden opportunity, a revelation, a restored relationship, or provision you never anticipated. The form is not as important as the substance. Archangel Michael ensures that the impact is complete, irreversible, and perfectly timed according to God's will. And now, I must remind you that the enemy will attempt to distract you. When miracles draw near, spiritual opposition intensifies. Confusion, sudden fatigue, conflicting emotions, and external pressures may arise. Do not yield to fear or doubt. Recognize these as last-ditch efforts to prevent your reception. Archangel Michael is holding the line, guarding both the miracle and your faith. He is ensuring that every obstacle falls short and that nothing can sever the connection between you and what God is releasing tonight. God says, do not resist the shift. A miracle's arrival often feels unexpected or sudden. You may notice changes in relationships, finances, or spiritual clarity that seem too fast to process. Do not question the timing. This is not chaos. It is divine acceleration. What has been long awaited is now manifesting at the perfect moment, orchestrated with a precision only heaven can achieve. Your readiness is being confirmed in this hour. It is important now, beloved, that you engage actively with this moment. Like this video to affirm your alignment with the message. Share it with someone who needs confirmation that God is still faithful. Leave a comment declaring your openness to receive, so heaven knows your heart is fully prepared. Subscribe to remain connected to these divine transmissions, because staying positioned is as important as the miracle itself. When you interact with this message, you are not simply supporting a channel. You are affirming your faith and creating spiritual momentum that allows God to move more freely in your life. Tonight, pay attention to the subtle signals of heaven. A call, a message, a word in a dream, or even a sudden sense of clarity is a confirmation that your miracle is active. Do not dismiss them. Archangel Michael ensures that these signals align perfectly with the timing of your release. Your readiness to receive will determine how quickly heaven's instructions manifest in your life. God says, the miracle is not only for comfort, it is for transformation. The circumstances that have challenged you, the obstacles that have seemed insurmountable, the pain that has felt endless, all of it is being restructured. What you have endured is now becoming the platform for something greater. Your story, once marked by waiting and uncertainty, will now carry testimony, influence, and authority. Your breakthrough will ripple beyond your life, touching others who are watching and believing in God's faithfulness. Archangel Michael stands as the protector and witness to this unfolding. His tears are a sign that the divine forces behind your miracle are strong and unstoppable. Heaven is shouting your name, signaling a victory that will echo long into your future. Be alert, be ready, and do not shrink from the manifestation. Your faith has positioned you, your endurance has aligned you, and now your miracle is being released. Keep your heart attentive. Keep your mind open. Be prepared to step forward as the shift unfolds. The hour of your breakthrough has arrived, and the angels are orchestrating every detail to ensure that nothing can hinder its arrival. Before the night ends, hold this truth in your heart. God's timing is perfect, and what He releases now is unstoppable. Your miracle is not a possibility, it is imminent. Archangel Michael is weeping with joy, and heaven is shouting your name. My beloved child, open your heart fully now, for what I am about to reveal is not simply encouragement. It is an unveiling of divine strategy orchestrated specifically for you. The miracle that is approaching is not a fragment of hope or a fleeting moment of relief. It is a carefully crafted release from God Himself, a shift that aligns your spirit, your mind, and your life with heaven's ultimate plan. Archangel Michael hath been stationed at the very threshold of this blessing, holding the portals of heaven open, and weeping not from sorrow, but from the sheer awe of your perseverance. Every trial, every tear, every moment of waiting had been recorded in heaven's ledger. Tonight, that ledger is being turned into your testimony. God wants you to understand that miracles are rarely superficial. They are not intended solely to alter circumstance. They are meant to realign the soul. This miracle is more than the tangible or material. It is the restoration of your spiritual authority, the rekindling of hope in areas of your life that have long felt barren, and the elevation of your purpose in alignment with divine timing. Archangel Michael is weeping because he knows the depth of your struggle and the strength it required to remain faithful when nothing in the natural realm made sense. Your steadfast heart has prepared you to receive blessings that cannot be interrupted, delayed, or diminished. The heavens have been mobilizing in ways you cannot see. Spiritual forces have been clearing paths, silencing opposition, and activating people, opportunities, and resources to align perfectly with your breakthrough. There is a sacred symmetry in this moment. Everything is converging to bring about a release that is both immediate and enduring. God says, "I have prepared this miracle in secrecy, and tonight it comes into manifestation. What hath been hidden from human eyes, what hath been reserved and delayed, will now arrive with power, purpose, and perfection." Some of you may feel a surge of anticipation, a pull toward clarity, or a sudden awareness that things are shifting. Do not ignore these signs. They are heaven's fingerprints on your life, confirmations that the miracle is on its way. Archangel Michael is overseeing every detail. No human interference, no unforeseen obstacle can block what God has decreed. The spiritual realm has been activated to protect, prepare, and deliver. Your miracle has divine security, and that security is as real as the tears of joy that Archangel Michael sheds on your behalf. God is reminding you that patience has been your weapon. Every moment of waiting, every second of doubt resisted, has fortified your spirit. The miracle you are about to receive is proportionate not only to your faith, but to the endurance you displayed when hope seemed dim. You may not fully understand why certain doors remained closed, why certain prayers seemed unanswered, or why the delay felt endless. But those moments were divine calibration. They prepared you to receive a blessing that exceeds imagination, a release that carries both depth and breadth, touching not just your life, but the lives of those around you. And now, hear this carefully. The miracle is not bound by your expectations. God's provision often transcends what we can envision. Sometimes it comes in forms we do not anticipate: an unexpected opportunity, a restored relationship, a sudden insight, or a miraculous alignment of circumstances that defies logic. The key is to remain open and receptive, to recognize the hand of heaven in every unfolding moment. Archangel Michael is guiding your discernment, ensuring that you do not misstep or dismiss the arrival of your breakthrough. Tonight, God is calling you to heightened awareness. Pay attention to sudden shifts in your environment, unexpected messages, or even internal prompts that direct your next steps. These are confirmations that heaven is orchestrating your release. Do not ignore them. They are not coincidences. They are divine markers signaling that your miracle is active in the spiritual realm and is now manifesting in the natural realm. This miracle also carries restoration. What was lost, delayed, or stolen, whether peace, joy, provision, or opportunity, is being returned, often in a multiplied form. God says, "What the enemy intended for delay, I have transformed into acceleration." Archangel Michael stands as both guardian and witness, ensuring that every aspect of this restoration is complete, protected, and irreversible. The heavens are shouting your name because your faith has unlocked a release of blessings that will echo for years to come. God says, "Receive without hesitation." Your faith is the key to unlocking the full measure of this miracle. Resistance, skepticism, or hesitation will only delay the manifestation. Archangel Michael is weeping for your readiness, but he is also urging you to step forward with faith, fully open, fully expectant, and fully trusting in God's timing. Tonight, everything aligns. The spiritual assignments, the divine orchestrations, the celestial confirmations, they converge for your complete breakthrough. Beloved, as this moment continues to unfold, remember, what is arriving is not merely for comfort. It is transformational. The miracle will touch every area of your life, not by accident, but by divine design. It will restore what was lost, amplify what had been faithful, and realign you with the purpose God ordained long before you knew His plans. Archangel Michael is weeping with joy because he knows the significance of this release, and heaven is shouting your name because your moment has come. Hold your spirit steady, remain alert to the signs, and trust fully in the unfolding. Tonight is your appointed hour. Your miracle is being released. Archangel Michael is weeping. Heaven is shouting. The time has come for divine alignment and unstoppable favor. My beloved child, take a deep breath and center your heart, for what I am about to share is a revelation that can transform not just this night, but your entire destiny. God is moving on your behalf in ways that are beyond human understanding, and Archangel Michael is at the forefront, weeping with awe and joy at the endurance of your spirit. Every tear you have shed, every prayer you whispered in silence, every moment you remained steadfast despite disappointment, He has recorded it all. Heaven itself is shouting your name tonight because what is coming is both a reward for your faith and a confirmation of God's unshakable promises. The miracle being released is not arbitrary. It has been meticulously planned in the spiritual realm, activated in accordance with divine timing, and protected from every interference that could have delayed it. God says, "What has been delayed will now be multiplied. What has been stolen will be restored, and what has been hidden will now shine openly for my glory." Archangel Michael has been stationed at the gates of this blessing, ensuring no spiritual resistance can alter the outcome. This is why you may have felt intense pressure, confusion, or emotional turbulence lately. These were not coincidences. They were the final barriers breaking down in preparation for the arrival of your miracle. Beloved, the heavens are aligning every detail of your life. Opportunities are being activated, divine connections are being repositioned, and doors that seemed permanently closed are being unlocked. What God is releasing is not only for your benefit, it carries generational significance. Your testimony, your perseverance, and your faith will touch lives you have not yet met. The impact of this miracle will echo beyond your personal circumstances, influencing others in ways that will bring glory to God. This is why Archangel Michael weeps, and why the angels are shouting your name with jubilant celebration. God says, "Prepare your spirit for reception." Do not doubt the timing or question the process. Miracles often arrive in forms that defy logic. They may come as unexpected conversations, sudden financial provision, restored relationships, or spiritual clarity that guides your next step. The key is to remain attentive and receptive. Archangel Michael is guiding you through this process. His tears are a testament to the sacredness of this moment and a reminder that what is coming cannot be hindered. Tonight, pay attention to subtle signs. A message, a dream, or even an unexpected thought may carry the confirmation of your miracle. These are not coincidences. They are divine markers orchestrated by God and delivered through His angelic host. Every alignment in your favor is intentional. What may feel like chance or random opportunity is the hand of God moving behind the scenes, ensuring that your miracle manifests in its fullest and most powerful form. There is also an element of restoration connected to this release. God is reclaiming what was lost, overlooked, or delayed. Peace, provision, clarity, relationships, and personal authority are all being realigned and returned to you, often in ways greater than before. God says, what the enemy intended for delay, I have transformed into acceleration. Archangel Michael ensures that this restoration is protected, complete, and irreversible. The heavens are celebrating your perseverance and your faithfulness in ways that surpass human understanding. Beloved, now is the time to act in alignment with heaven. Like this video to confirm your faith and participate in this spiritual momentum. Share it with someone whose heart needs to hear that miracles are real. Leave a comment declaring that you are open to receive your divine release tonight. Subscribe to stay connected to these divine transmissions and remain positioned for further alignment. By engaging, you are not merely interacting with content, you are stepping into a realm of spiritual activation that allows heaven to move more freely on your behalf. God is also calling you to faith-filled awareness. Your miracle may arrive suddenly, and it may not appear as you expected. Do not resist or doubt the process. Pay attention to nudges in your spirit, to shifts in your environment, and to confirmations in unexpected places. These are the markers of heaven at work, guiding your steps and ensuring that the manifestation of your miracle is complete and irreversible. Archangel Michael is orchestrating these signs so that you recognize the movement of God's hand. Tonight, the heavens are not silent. They are actively celebrating the fulfillment of your promise, your perseverance, and your faith. God says, receive without hesitation, for I am faithful to fulfill what I have spoken. This miracle is transformational, not temporary. It carries authority, restoration, and alignment with your divine purpose. The tears of Archangel Michael are a sign of honor, and the shouts of heaven are a signal that your season of increase has begun. Type I am ready for my divine release in the comments if this speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 2268 is now activated. As this message settles in your heart, consider stepping further into alignment by supporting the mission to spread God's word. Through super thanks, membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you participate in a divine act that extends blessing far beyond your own life. Every contribution is an offering of obedience, faith, and spiritual impact. God declares that as you give, you will release increase, favor, and protection over your own life. The moment to act is now. Join in this prophetic movement and watch God multiply your reward. My beloved child, lean in closely, for tonight is a threshold moment, a doorway between waiting and receiving, between silence and testimony. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not as a distant observer but as an active participant in what God is orchestrating for your life. His tears, which you cannot see, are not of sorrow. They are tears of honor, of recognition for the perseverance you have displayed in seasons where others would have surrendered. Every struggle, every doubt, every lonely night of prayer has been cataloged in heaven, and tonight, that record becomes the blueprint for your breakthrough. God says that miracles are more than events. They are spiritual activations. They alter the atmosphere, reset destiny, and realign every area of life in accordance with His divine will. What is being released to you is not only tangible, it is transformational. It is designed to restore what was lost, amplify your faith, and elevate your purpose. Archangel Michael has been assigned to guard every step of this release, ensuring that nothing interrupts what heaven has carefully positioned. The miracle arriving in your life tonight carries authority and permanence. Beloved, you may wonder why this miracle has taken so long to arrive. The answer lies in timing. God does not work in haste, He works in alignment. The obstacles, delays, and disappointments you faced were not mistakes or punishments. They were calibrations. They were spiritual measures to ensure that you would receive your miracle fully prepared, fully aligned, and fully able to steward it. Every closed door, every unanswered question, every moment of confusion has been part of a larger divine strategy. Heaven has been moving behind the scenes, rearranging circumstances, people, and opportunities to deliver what you prayed for in the perfect time. Archangel Michael is also ensuring that your focus remains aligned with heaven's plan. Distractions, doubts, and confusion may attempt to draw your attention away, but the angelic host is reinforcing your clarity. God says, "Stay attentive to the movement of my spirit." This is a time to discern carefully. Not everything that presents itself is your miracle. Some things are tests to measure your readiness, to prove that your heart is prepared to steward what is coming. Archangel Michael is holding the line, allowing only what aligns with divine purpose to reach you. Tonight you may experience subtle signs, a sudden message, a shift in circumstances, a dream, or an unexplainable sense of peace. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations from heaven. Pay close attention and trust what you sense. God often speaks in ways that the mind cannot fully comprehend, through whispers, nudges, and gentle confirmations. These moments are designed to awaken your awareness and prepare you to recognize the miracle when it manifests. God also says, do not measure this miracle by human expectation. Too often, we define miracles by the scale of our desires or the limits of our imagination. But God works beyond human measurement. What you are about to receive may surpass what you ever envisioned, arriving in ways that are both surprising and exact. Archangel Michael has ensured that the release is protected and precise, that no opposition can delay or dilute its impact. Heaven itself is shouting your name because your faith has unlocked a release that cannot be undone. There is also a restoration element tied to this miracle. What has been lost, delayed, or taken away, whether peace, provision, clarity, or relationships, is being returned to you in abundance. God says, what was intended to harm you, I am transforming into acceleration. Archangel Michael has been appointed to ensure that this restoration reaches you fully, untouched by interference, fully secured in the spiritual realm, and fully manifested in the natural realm. Your patience and endurance have paved the way for this return. Beloved, now is the time to open your heart fully and receive without hesitation. Resistance or doubt will only delay the full impact of what God has prepared. Archangel Michael is weeping in awe at the purity of your faith and the strength of your perseverance. Heaven is celebrating not only your breakthrough, but the testimony you will carry to encourage others. Your miracle will not only bless you, it will inspire those who have been waiting, struggling, and questioning God's faithfulness. Tonight, expect a profound shift in your spiritual atmosphere. God is releasing alignment in ways that will bring clarity, peace, and divine favor. What was once hidden, delayed, or uncertain is now fully activated. Archangel Michael is watching over every detail, ensuring that nothing can interfere with your breakthrough. This is your moment of transition, from waiting to receiving, from struggle to testimony, from uncertainty to divine assurance. Take this time to prepare your spirit for reception. Meditate on God's promises, reflect on the endurance that brought you here, and stand ready to receive your miracle. It may manifest in ways that surprise you, but its purpose is perfect, its timing is impeccable, and its impact is eternal. Archangel Michael is weeping for the honor of standing beside you, and heaven is shouting your name because your season of breakthrough has arrived. My beloved child, listen intently, for the revelation I bring now is one that will anchor your spirit in the certainty of God's divine timing. Tonight, the miracle you have longed for is not merely approaching, it is being released into your life with precision, power, and permanence. Archangel Michael hath been stationed at your side, weeping with joy, not for sorrow, but in honor of your faithfulness. Every tear you have shed, every whispered prayer, every moment you endured silently, he has carried these to the throne of God. And now, the heavens are shouting your name because your persistence has unlocked a release that cannot be delayed or denied. God says that what is coming is not ordinary, and it is not accidental. This miracle has been meticulously orchestrated in the spiritual realm, and every force in heaven is aligned to ensure its arrival. The waiting, the delays, the unanswered questions, they were never oversights or mistakes. They were divine preparation. The process of endurance, of holding fast when the world seemed indifferent, has prepared you for something too great for haste. Every closed door, every moment of uncertainty, and every trial has set the stage for this precise moment of manifestation. Archangel Michael has been more than a guardian. He has been a witness and an activator. He stands ready to open the path for what is coming, ensuring that no opposition, spiritual or earthly, can hinder the release of your miracle. He weeps because he sees the magnitude of your journey, the depth of your faith, and the strength of your spirit. Heaven itself is celebrating the alignment of your life with God's promises. The miracle arriving tonight is not just for comfort, it is for restoration, elevation, and transformation. Beloved, you may feel a shift in your environment, a sudden clarity in your thoughts, or an unexpected wave of peace. These are not coincidences. They are divine signals. God is speaking in ways that transcend human understanding, and Archangel Michael ensures that you recognize these confirmations. The miracle may come through sudden provision, unexpected opportunity, restored relationships, or insight that directs your next step. Be attentive, for heaven often works quietly before it manifests boldly. Your readiness to receive will determine how quickly and fully the miracle manifests in your life. God reminds you tonight, do not allow fear or doubt to cloud your reception. When miracles are near, the enemy often escalates attacks to distract or intimidate. Confusion, exhaustion, or emotional unrest may arise, but these are not indicators of delay. They are signs that the breakthrough is imminent. Archangel Michael stands as a shield, repelling every attempt to derail your blessing. Your faith is your key, and your vigilance will ensure that nothing obstructs the release that has been divinely prepared for you. And now is the time to actively engage with this message. Like this video to affirm your openness to God's work in your life. Share it with someone who is waiting for confirmation that miracles are real. Comment with your readiness to receive, declaring that your heart is fully aligned with heaven's timing. Subscribe to stay connected, because being positioned for divine transmission allows ongoing alignment with God's plans. Participation is not just interaction. It is a spiritual activation, creating momentum for the miracle that is unfolding. God says, your miracle will not be contained by expectation. Often, what we envision is limited by our imagination, but God's provision always surpasses human understanding. What arrives may be unexpected in form but perfect in purpose. Archangel Michael ensures that the manifestation is protected, irreversible, and fully aligned with your destiny. Heaven itself is shouting because your faith has opened the door for a release that will impact not only your life, but the lives of those around you, those who will witness the testimony of God's faithfulness through your experience. Beloved, take note. This miracle is also a restoration of what was lost, delayed, or stolen. God says, what the enemy intended for harm, I have transformed into acceleration. Peace, clarity, provision, and opportunity. All of these are being returned to you in abundance. Archangel Michael oversees this restoration, ensuring that it reaches you fully, untouched, and secured in the spiritual realm before it manifests in the natural realm. This is not only a blessing, it is a divine repositioning for your life, a realignment that establishes favor, authority, and influence for seasons to come. As the night progresses, stay alert to subtle signs. A dream, a sudden insight, a message, or a shift in your environment may carry confirmation of the miracle being released. These moments are divine markers, signaling that heaven is actively working in your life. Archangel Michael orchestrates these confirmations so that you recognize the movement of God's hand. Faithful attention will allow you to receive without delay. Beloved, this is your appointed hour. The miracle is coming, and it carries more than provision. It carries transformation. It will heal, restore, and elevate. It will shift the atmosphere around you and establish a testimony that will inspire countless others. Archangel Michael is weeping in awe, and heaven is shouting because your endurance has aligned perfectly with God's timing. Take a moment now to prepare your heart for reception. Open your mind, remain vigilant, and step into this night fully aligned with expectation. What hath been delayed will arrive, what was hidden will shine, what was broken will be restored. Your miracle is being released, and it is unstoppable. Before I continue, take action now. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to position yourself fully in this divine momentum. By engaging, you are activating your faith and creating a channel for heaven to move more freely on your behalf. Stay attentive, for the unfolding of this miracle will transform not only your life, but the spiritual atmosphere around you. My beloved child, open your heart fully, for what I am about to reveal is the sacred moment where waiting meets reception, where faith meets fulfillment, and where the supernatural intersects with your natural reality. Tonight is not an ordinary night. It is a divine orchestration, a holy appointment that has been prepared since before you were born. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, weeping, not out of sorrow but out of honor for your perseverance and your unwavering faith. Every struggle you endured, every tear you shed in silence, every whispered prayer spoken in the stillness of the night has been recorded in heaven's archives. And now, the time has come for that record to transform into testimony. God says that miracles are more than mere events. They are spiritual recalibrations that align your life with His perfect plan. This miracle is designed not only to meet your needs but to elevate your life into a new dimension of purpose, authority, and divine favor. Archangel Michael has been tasked with guarding every detail of this release, ensuring that no opposition, no delay, and no interference can alter what God has decreed. The tears you have shed, the patience you have exercised, and the faith you have maintained have positioned you to receive a blessing that is irreversible and unstoppable. Beloved, the reason this miracle has taken time to arrive is because God is precise in His timing. The delays you experienced were never random, and the obstacles were never accidental. They were divine calibrations, designed to prepare you for what is coming. Each closed door, each unanswered question, each moment of uncertainty has been a step in a sacred sequence that ensures your miracle will not only arrive but will arrive in a way that secures your destiny. Heaven has been moving unseen forces, aligning people, circumstances, and spiritual assignments to converge in perfect harmony for your breakthrough. Archangel Michael is also orchestrating your discernment, guiding you to recognize what is truly aligned with your miracle and what is merely distraction. You may feel sudden shifts in your environment, unexpected insights, or waves of clarity. These are divine markers, subtle confirmations from heaven that the miracle is active in your life. Do not dismiss them. Your readiness to perceive these signs will ensure that you receive the blessing in its fullness. God says, do not measure your miracle by human expectation. Too often, we confine God to what we can imagine or what seems reasonable to us. Miracles operate beyond human logic and exceed our most ambitious dreams. What is being released to you tonight may manifest in ways that are unexpected, but its impact will be perfectly suited to your life, your destiny, and your purpose. Archangel Michael ensures that the manifestation is protected, precise, and permanent, so that nothing can hinder its arrival. Tonight, there is also a restoration element embedded in your miracle. What was delayed, stolen, or lost, whether peace, opportunity, provision, or relationships, is being returned to you in abundance. God says, what the enemy intended for harm, I have transformed into acceleration. Archangel Michael is ensuring that this restoration reaches you fully and is secured both in the spiritual and natural realms. The heavens are shouting your name because your faith has activated a release that will impact not only your life but the lives of others who will witness your testimony. Beloved, now is the time to open yourself fully to receive. Resistance, hesitation, or doubt will only delay the impact of what God has prepared. Archangel Michael is weeping for your readiness and your willingness to trust fully in the divine plan. A miracle coming is not only for comfort, it is transformational. It is designed to heal, elevate, and establish authority in your life. What arrives tonight will bring clarity, peace, provision, and alignment with God's perfect will. Pay attention to subtle signs over the next hours. A message, a sudden insight, a dream, or a change in circumstances may all carry confirmations from heaven. These are markers to help you recognize the presence of your miracle. Archangel Michael orchestrates these confirmations with precision to ensure you can perceive the movement of God's hand. Your responsiveness to these signs will directly influence how quickly and fully the miracle manifests. God says, tonight, what was hidden will be revealed, what was delayed will be accelerated, and what was broken will be restored. The shift you are about to experience is not temporary. It is a permanent realignment that will transform your life. Archangel Michael is weeping in awe at the depth of your faith, and heaven is shouting because your endurance has unlocked the release of blessings that will echo for years to come. Before this night concludes, remember that your miracle carries beyond personal blessing. It carries testimony for others. Your endurance, your faith, and your perseverance will serve as proof to those watching that God is faithful, that miracles are real, and that divine timing is perfect. The shift you experience will ripple into the lives of many who need confirmation that God's promises cannot fail. Now is the moment to stay vigilant, attentive, and fully aligned with God's timing. Your miracle is not a distant possibility. It is imminent. Archangel Michael is weeping, heaven is shouting, and God is orchestrating every detail of your release. Prepare your heart, open your spirit, and receive fully. My beloved child, this is the moment your spirit has been waiting for. Tonight is the night when God moves decisively, when heaven converges in your favor, and when Archangel Michael stands at your side weeping with joy and honor. These tears are not of sorrow but of awe, for he has witnessed your patience, your endurance, and your unwavering faith. Every trial you endured, every lonely night of prayer, every tear you shed in silence, he has carried them before the throne of God. And now, your miracle is being released in a way that is powerful, irreversible, and perfectly timed. God says that miracles are not merely blessings, they are divine recalibrations. They reposition your life, align your spirit, and open doors that were previously inaccessible. The miracle arriving tonight is not temporary or superficial, it is transformational. It will restore what was lost, amplify what has been faithful, and align you fully with the purpose God ordained for your life. Archangel Michael has been stationed to protect every aspect of this release, ensuring that no opposition, delay, or interference can alter its arrival. Heaven itself is shouting your name because your faith has unlocked a release that is unstoppable. Beloved, you may wonder why the delay felt so long. The truth is that God's timing is perfect. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, and every period of waiting was necessary to prepare your heart, mind, and spirit for this moment. The challenges you faced were never punishments. They were divine calibration. They were shaping you to receive the fullness of what heaven hath been orchestrating on your behalf. The patience you displayed and the faith you maintained have positioned you for this extraordinary release. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your miracle but is also ensuring that you recognize it when it arrives. Pay attention to subtle signs, a message, a sudden insight, a dream, or even an unexplainable sense of peace. These are not coincidences. They are divine confirmations that your miracle is active in the spiritual realm and now manifesting in the natural. God is speaking in ways beyond human comprehension, and your readiness to perceive these signs will allow you to receive the blessing in its fullest measure. God says, do not limit this miracle by human expectation. What is arriving may look different than you imagined, but it will produce exactly what you need. Sometimes miracles arrive through unexpected opportunities, restored relationships, sudden provision, or clarity that directs your next steps. The form may surprise you, but the impact is precise. Archangel Michael ensures that every detail of this release is protected, aligned, and permanent. The heavens are celebrating because your faith has positioned you for a release that will impact generations to come. Tonight, the miracle carries restoration. Peace, joy, clarity, provision, and divine favor are all being returned to you. God says, what was delayed, stolen, or broken is now being restored with increase. Archangel Michael oversees this restoration to ensure that it reaches you fully, untouched, and secure. This is not just a blessing. It is a realignment that establishes authority, influence, and divine favor in your life. What has been hidden, delayed, or overlooked is now manifesting, fully secured by heaven itself. Beloved, the timing of your miracle is perfect, and the shift is already underway. Archangel Michael's tears are a sign of honor and celebration. Heaven's shouts are a signal that your season of breakthrough has arrived. This is the moment where your endurance meets divine reward, where your faith meets supernatural provision, and where your patience meets God's perfect timing. Your miracle will not only bless you, it will inspire those around you, providing testimony that God is faithful and miracles are real. Type "I am ready for my divine breakthrough" in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 5581 has now been activated. As this word settles in your heart, I invite you to join in the sacred mission of spreading God's word through this ministry. Your support through Super Thanks membership, where the PayPal link in the description, is not simply a donation. It is a prophetic act that releases blessing and activates God's power in the lives of others. Every seed you give is returned with increase, favor, and protection. God says, as you release, I will release abundantly into your life. By participating, you are helping extend hope, light, and miracles to souls who are waiting, watching, and longing to encounter God. Step forward in obedience, sow into this work, and align with the supernatural momentum that heaven has established tonight. Your miracle is here. Archangel Michael is weeping with honor. Heaven is shouting your name, and God's hand is moving powerfully in your life. Receive it fully, believe without hesitation, and watch the manifestation of His promises unfold. The season of favor is yours. Embrace it with a heart wide open.